Words about books, Ben.
Words about books.
Is everyone happy now? Is everyone...
I'm the one who kept putting this... I kept putting it on the poll. This is me.
No, I'm talking about something not nearly as important, but more people pay attention to. Is everyone happy? So after my Chiefs graciously stepped aside after getting their three-peat, which is going to 3 Super Bowls in a row and nothing more, they graciously passed the torch, and then what do we get? The fucking Patriots again. Is this what everyone wanted?
Yeah.
Haven't they had an entire decade of being insufferable already? Is this what we want? Is everyone happy now, Ben?
Hey, at least Bill Belichick's gone, and Tom Brady's gone. I mean, they're alive, but I don't have to look at them.
And Bill Belichick apparently didn't get a first-round Hall of Fame. I don't know what that means.
He's like a coach who has won as much as he has won should have been Hall of Fame material, and so it's a reflection that...
Yeah, but he... Turns out that he's nothing without Brady because he fucking sucked without Brady.
Well, it turns out that a lot of people see that as a reflection of him, cheating.
Personally? Yeah.
Cheating every
Deflategate
chance he got. Well, and doing things like, sitting up there in the box and filming and things that like they didn't have rules for. It's not technically cheating. You can't like fine him or anything, but they developed a rule for it because of him. Like they didn't think they needed a rule for it, but
we thought it should be obvious that you shouldn't steal the plays of your opponents.
Yeah. He'll get in there, don't worry.
Yeah, I'm sure he will.
But we're not here to talk about football, Nate.
No, we're not.
What are we here to talk about?
Snow Crash, Ben.
Do you know the author's name?
I want to say Neal Stephenson? I don't fucking know, Ben.
You got it.
Hey, I did it!
That's my test for you. That's my test for you to see if you did the audiobook, because then I know you don't look at the cover.
I've seen the cover, though. I started with I started by checking it out from my local library, Ben. And then I was like, nah. This needs to be an audiobook. There's no way
I need to be doing something else while I'm doing this.
I need to be doing something else while I do this. Yes. And so I switched over to the audiobook just in time to miss the fact that Raven sounds exactly like...
Okay, so we're back.
Words about books, Ben.
Words about books.
I had to switch over to the audiobook.
Yes.
And that's all I'll say about it. I needed to be doing something else because this book, we'll get into it. I feel like it takes a long time to get going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's... Would it help you to know that I think they planned this to be like a video game or some kind of like interactive graphic novel? Like they
that would have been awesome. And then you could have cut one of the characters and it could have just been from the hero protagonist story.
Yeah.
Do you have an about the author you want to do, or should we dive in?
I don't actually know a ton about Neal Stephenson. This is his breakthrough novel. It wasn't his first novel. He had a couple before this that kind of underperformed.
So you're telling me that there's chance we could still break through.
We could. Yeah. I know that he does not have a degree in computer science. However, he does program, or he did, as I understand. I think he got his degree in geography or something random, because he said it let him spend the most time in the computer lab. At some point, he was working for Blue Horizon, the Jeff Bezos space venture. No idea what he did for them. Not sure if he was in a technical role or Jeff Bezos just wanted to have the Snow Crash guy there.
I mean, I'm also kind of a programmer now. I hear you can just vibe code anymore. And
Yeah, you can vibe code.
yeah,
It generates bad code sometimes, but then you just tell it to fix the code, and then it doesn't,
there
and then
you
you
go.
tell it to fix the code again, and then it doesn't, and then you tell it to fix the code again, and that costs the planet
And then,
a few billion in carbon and water and electricity, and so we're all great.
If it helps, I don't think about any of that. I just think about my code.
Well, I asked ChatGPT if we were all going to die, and it said no. And I asked if it was sure, and it said maybe. I said, I think we're all going to die. And it's like, yeah, you're right. You're going to die for sure.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. So,
well, we thank God the Senate Democrats are banding together for this funding bill, Ben. We saved the day.
Neal's
planet saved.
Neal Stephenson gets, I actually think he gets quite a bit right. It's some things wrong, but he totally nailed the corporatocracy thing. I think we're definitely going to be subscribed to a series of franchises. We're going to own nothing. You're just going to choose your burb clave. You're going to pay your subscription, and when you can't pay, you're going to die. But yeah, so
living the dream.
I don't know how you want to do Snow Crash.
I would prefer not to do Snow Crash because it seems to. Well, I guess I'm not a programmer, so I can do all the Snow Crash I want.
I did enjoy that. That might have been true in 1992 when he wrote this, but I can count on one hand the number of programmers who could even explain to you how binary works.
It's zeros and ones. Zeros off, one is on. Easy.
I had to write a calculator in assembly when I was in college. And I don't think I had to anyone else who did that.
Hello World.
Now, you can vibe code that for sure. It'll get that.
And that's how you learn, right? You learn.
We're going to fucking find out if that's how you learn. In one generation, we're going to know if that worked out.
Hey, when it inevitably doesn't, that means your job is going to be in demand.
Senior, we're not talking about the book, but senior dev positions are still pretty decently in demand. At least where I am from my perspective. I know there's plenty of people out there having a hard time finding a job. The economy sucks. Believe me, I know. But
well, the Democrats have stopped the funding bill, Ben. Anyway,
yeah.
Do you want to start this book? The Deliverator, Ben.
Yeah, why don't you start?
The Deliverator. He's got a package. He's got to deliver in 30 minutes or less. He's got a car that could fucking shoot you to the moon. It's so powerful. His tires are so massive.
You didn't last very long.
Shit out of the road.
You didn't last very long. His tires grabbed the road by the throat and never let go.
In case of raiders coming to steal his package, he's got a gun that can atomize an entire person and their family and the building behind them. This is serious fucking business, and he doesn't use that very often because it's so powerful. That's why he's got his two either katanas or katanas, depending on how the audiobook wants to pronounce it.
Well, does he have two katanas? I thought he had a katana and a wakizashi.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, that's the proper samurai. Well, from a certain...
You'd also have a spear.
But, yeah, well, I was going to say, that's the proper samurai kit from the time when samurais had stopped fighting wars and just kind of brutalized peasants.
Yeah, they also had guns. They used guns. That was a thing. But yeah.
There's a very specific period of Japan's history where a samurai carried only a katana and a wakizashi.
Yeah, and it was...
it's kind of like medieval knights. You got to pick there's 50 to 100 years where what you think of as a knight actually existed.
It didn't work super well for them.
I mean,
once they figured out that longbow, it was over. That shit would just punch right through your armor.
yeah, it's give and take. I mean, it's not like any of us could afford the armor anyway. I'm not that worried about it.
Well, I mean, that's why the nobles did it. And that's why it's like, oh, yeah, you want to go fight a war? All right.
All you got to do is tie a thing around your face that says I'm a noble, and nobody's going to try to kill you. They'll just ransom you.
Ask the English at Agincourt. Or really, ask the French how that worked out for him. Anyway, the Deliverator, Ben.
The Deliverator.
He's got to deliver this package. And what is that package, Ben?
Pizza.
A piping hot pepperoni pie, baby. From Hero.
Can I tell you that
protagonist?
The way they describe pizzas, like it's one of those books where like I actually had to go out and get a pizza.
Yeah. No, he has very good command of words. I was laughing my ass off the entire first chapter or so when he was delivering pizzas, and he had this armored car that drove at insane speeds, and pizza's serious American business. It's the one of the few things America still does better than anyone else. That's right. Suck it, Italy.
Yep.
Your square-shaped sadness doesn't cut it over here. So he goes, he delivers his pizza.
He
heads back to home base
right now, just out of spite.
He heads back to home base, and they give him a pizza that's got 8 minutes left, Ben. 8 minutes to deliver a pizza all the way on the other side of, I would say, town, but these are all little suburb enclaves called burbclaves that are owned by corporations because the American government it's kind of still there, but it doesn't really do anything. Kind of like now, except at least these guys don't have to, like their decisions aren't really influenced by the dumb assholes in Washington the way it is for us.
Really,
this is a utopia.
The fantasy here, the thing that Stephenson failed to predict, was that our corporate overlords would still make things anyone wanted to buy.
Yeah. It's just AI generating slop.
Elon Musk has taken away the assembly lines for the 2 older models of Tesla and retooling them to produce Optimus robots, a product for which he has precisely 0 customers. And that stock somehow is still doing fine.
Yeah, somehow. It's like it's not insider trading, but there's something else. Bullshit. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit.
Yeah, I think that's the main thing is that like these companies, like they still do things. That's the thing in Stephenson's world that I just find unbelievable is like they're not just.
Yeah, Stephenson's world seems like
they're not just making shit up to try to fund themselves entirely with their stock value. They have no source of revenue.
Well, that revenue is from other companies investing in them.
Yeah.
Now, where does that revenue come from? Other companies that invest in them.
Yep.
Where does that one? You just keep going down the chain until you get all the way in a circle. The system just works, Ben.
It just works. It's a self-sustaining ecosystem. It's that It's Always Sunny episode about the Dave and Buster's.
He's like, I got to get there in 8 minutes. I can make it, but it's going to be the race of my life. And then, as he's calculating where he's going, and he's like, all right, I know of this. There's like this house I can cut through the yard, do minimal damage. Oh, these pizzas are sold by the mafia. That's important.
Uncle Enzo's Pizza.
Goddamn right. So he's going to cut through this yard that he knows doesn't have people or like props or anything in the yard. So he won't do a whole lot of damage. I'll shave his time off and just enough time to get that pizza where it's going to go.
If it's late, Uncle Enzo himself has to descend in a helicopter and personally apologize to the family for whom it was late, and the pizza is free. And our protagonist, whose name is Protagonist,
hero protagonist.
He doesn't know what happens to delivery drivers who arrive late, but he can only imagine.
On his way there, he gets pooned.
I hated that.
A big old poon just sticks right to his car. He got pooned, Ben.
I know in 1992 the word poon conjures the same imagery for him as it does for me. And he did this on purpose because he enjoyed saying it.
I hate it when I get pooned on the way to work.
She shot her poon at him. Then she disconnected her poon and reeled it in. Dropped her poon. You know.
Yeah, see, that's a courier, Ben. So this courier, he'll find out very shortly, is actually a lady. She rides a skateboard with wheels that can adjust. Yeah, lady's a strong word. You're right. Because, when you're 15, a child is a better word for it.
It is.
And that will be important.
Yeah.
I don't know why it had to be important.
I don't know why she had to be 15. It doesn't even make sense for her.
It would be great if she were maybe 3 years older.
It doesn't even make sense for her to be 15.
No. No, it does not. And yet, here we are.
Yeah.
So she poons him, and he tries to shake her, can't. He's like, all right, well, you know what? Got to get this pizza delivered. And he cuts through the yard. That's weird. There's some shit here that wasn't here before. And, this doesn't look like the yard. I'm inside of a swimming pool. My car is totaled. Shit.
Yep.
Luckily, this courier is super cool and will deliver the pizza for him.
Yeah, she'll do that.
And so she does that.
And then the mafia will owe her a favor. And her name is YT.
What does YT stand for, Ben?
Yours truly.
Yeah. Does YT speak in the third person?
For a little bit and then never again?
Yeah, it was cooler when The Rock did it, and even that got old, so.
There's a lot of Snow Crash. Like there's just a lot of this book. And it is funny.
Based on the page count, I thought this would be a 3-parter, Ben. I think 2 is
I think 2 is pushing it. We'll see.
Yeah.
Cuz I think you got to understand.
Unless you got something else, Ben, this has to be a 2-parter. I can't shit out another book this quickly with how much I had to do for this
I think this is what the audience loves, right? Is when we no, stretch.
Stretch.
It has to be 2 parts. No, in all seriousness, I was worried. First chapter, I really enjoyed.
Yes.
Second chapter, Third chapter, 20th chapter, 35th chapter. I'm getting into it now. It's warming up.
It takes a real long time to get back.
Yeah. So now I know there were a couple of people in the Discord who have read this or were reading it kind of along with us. And somebody mentioned that it felt like Ready Player One, and that made me very nervous.
Well, it's not that bad.
It's not that bad, but I do agree with the comparison. Hero protagonist, amazingly, is not quite as insufferable as Wade, but the metaverse stuff, oh boy.
Wait, you don't like The Street where he goggles in and then like explains in detail, and some of the time I'm like, okay, they're fighting. Are they fighting in real life or are they fighting on the street? I can't fucking tell.
Well,
What's a gargoyle?
a gargoyle is somebody who's walking around in real life plugged into the metaverse
While on the street.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
No, so I guess we'll I don't know if I'm going to try to detail the events of every single chapter. I think maybe I'll try to give you.
No, you need to. There's 71 of them. They all need to be accounted for.
I think I'll try to give you like the overview of sort of what it's about and what it's doing. So the world of Snow Crash it's beyond late stage capitalism. It's end stage capitalism. And in that
that sounds fun. That's where we all get wealthy, right? Everyone's rich together.
No, like you're on hospice before you die.
Damn. I was really hoping for the other thing.
Also, we ran out of money for hospice, so it's like maybe you get like a blanket.
Yeah, there's like inflation is so high. There's you spend billions of dollars on everything.
The $quadrillion bill is worthless.
I hope it has Nixon on it.
And there's a lot of that like over the top language and just over the topness to the world. Like we have Uncle Enzo's Mafia Pizza. We have skateboarding couriers. Hero. The main character is named Hero Protagonist. He fights with samurai swords.
He's gonna fight. And
it's designed to be like very sarcastic, kind of funny, a little like 1992 edgy male techno nerd humor for you.
This is real shit, Ben. This is before Hollywood went woke, dog.
I can imagine someone saying that about this book.
This is back when you could have sex with anyone.
There are parts of the books that have aged like milk and parts that have aged quite well.
Yeah, for example, any part involving YT, let's just
I really did not care for the character of YT, the skateboarding courier who Marty McFly style hitches a ride on the back of cars. I feel like
I think you just don't like that 90s attitude, Ben. Cowabunga.
Yeah, I do think there's a part where he mentions Bart Simpson t-shirts going out of style, and I was like, you could have fooled me, man, with all the skateboard bullshit. But I've never seen anyone. Now, maybe this is a thing.
Is it a skateboard or is it a longboard? Because there's a difference, and it's kind of a big deal, Ben.
Is one longer?
One is longer. I had a friend who was getting into longboarding, as if that wasn't embarrassing. And you like get they I don't know, maybe they go faster. I remember he had to get gloves so he could put his hands on the ground to steer himself while he was going down the street.
Oh, I've seen those. I've seen people doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a bicycle.
Yeah, I was gonna say the bike just sounds a lot easier and more practical and just a better.
The bike
design
allows you to go
around.
back up the hill.
Yeah.
It's probably not as fun on the way down. But no, like I've never seen that skateboard behind a car thing outside of Back to the Future and this. But it looked really cool in Back to the Future, so I'll give it to him. I think maybe a little much is made out of the skateboard stuff. I didn't find YT cool. I think she's supposed to be
hip.
Comic relief. Like
she's gonna eat corn nuts and drink Mountain Dew, man.
Well, no, I think she
and have sex with older men who should know better.
Yeah. Well, and she even mentioned, like, the thing is, she even mentions that. Yeah, like she mentions sure does, that now fortunately the protagonist, Hero Protagonist, is not the guy does not have sex with YT.
He doesn't poon her, if you know what I mean. Yeah, he doesn't.
But it's funny because YT mentions at one point that like part of the reason she kind of like respects Hero is because he seems like the kind of guy who might have a problem with being thought to have had sex with 15-year-old girls. So Stephenson knows that's a weird thing to do.
That's why the villain does it, Ben.
Yeah, the villain is the one who ultimately does it. And the villain is the same age as Hero. I think Hero is 30. He's literally twice her age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was your age, you were born.
Ooh,
Think
yeah. Oh
that.
God, what a pickup line! What a pickup line that is. When I was your age, you were born. Oh yeah, so that's an obvious problem. There's a very long, detailed sex scene that ends in kind of a joke, but it's one of the jokes I think maybe a little edgier than it was funny. But there's a real tongue-in-cheek nature to the book. Like, hero protagonist is supposed to be kind of a loser. It kind of reminded me a little bit of like a Futurama type.
He helped program the street, which is the metaverse, and now he's delivering pizzas and holding virtual rock concerts for very little to no money.
Yeah, he used to be a software engineer.
He used to be benefiting from end stage capitalism, and now he's just another one of the poors, Ben.
Well, and he could be wealthy again. He just doesn't want to wear a suit in the metaverse.
That sounds totally reasonable. I guess I'll starve to death.
The craziest thing to me, and possibly a reason by itself to read Snow Crash, is that obviously Mark Zuckerberg has read Snow Crash. Because
he named the metaverse.
Well, not only he named the metaverse after it, but I mean, have you used the Oculus? Like, he wants you to pay for t-shirts for your avatar.
Yeah,
he really thought people.
Totally reasonable.
It sounds reasonable in the world of Snow Crash, but Mark Zuckerberg thought real people were actually going to do that.
Yeah, where can I sign up?
And the funny thing is, unlike Ready Player One, the metaverse has limitations that are like almost too constrictive, or too restrictive.
Yeah, I don't know what you do in the metaverse besides go to rock concerts or go inside the Black Sun.
So avatars, and by the way, this is I understand the book that popularized the term avatars in a computer online context.
Was this? Yeah.
So
crazy.
Your avatar it doesn't track your face, really. Or if it does track your face, it can only use it to shift between pre-programmed expressions. You can't actually look at somebody.
Well, that's why Juanita, his former fling, she got super rich because in the Black Sun, it can generate your facial expressions. That's why it's so fancy.
Well, no, I thought she generated the pack of pre-programmed facial expressions.
I thought it was more closely modeled after facial expressions.
Well, she was the one that figured out
businessmen would come in here specifically so they could read each other's facial expressions. So I thought they were more realistic inside the Black Sun, and that's why it's such an exclusive club.
I didn't get that, but I could have overlooked it.
Well, I don't know how you could have overlooked it, Ben, because immediately after that, we start talking about more shit, and then suddenly we're 60 chapters later, and we're talking with not L. Ron Hubbard.
I do. We're going to get to not L. Ron Hubbard, because I have a lot of thoughts about that, and that's actually one of the parts of the book that I loved, is that he took a shot at L. Ron Hubbard, who I think was still alive in 92.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope he read it too. I hope he was upset. And then he decided he was going to leave his physical body behind to transcend to Xenu land or whatever. I can't remember what the press release was after he died, but it was something like he's decided to continue the work without a physical body.
Fat sci-fi writer dies on his dumbass boat.
Yeah, the raft sounds much cooler than his dumbass boat.
Yeah. I forget what it was called. The boat had a
Sea
name.
World or Sea Land or something like that, I think. I think it's something stupid like that.
Yeah. So, yeah, the metaverse, it's kind of like
Sea Org.
God, that is very Hubbard.
Sea Org.
No, so the metaverse is honestly kind of like the actual metaverse that Mark Zuckerberg created, only in the book people enjoy it. But I don't understand why, because it sounds terrible. I mean, it's
yeah, it sounds like it would have been awesome back in '91. We're like, oh wow, look at all the stuff we can do, but it's not very impressive by today's standards with the actual internet.
Well, and the thing is
which was a mistake, Ben. The internet was a mistake. We've all we can't handle it. Genie needs to go back in the bottle for another century.
The tech industry has to keep relearning this lesson over and over again, and they're doing it now with everything needs a stupid, useless AI chatbot that no one engages with. VR, I'm not saying AI is the same kind of trend that VR and
or 3D
and NFTs and stuff.
NFTs, hey, I remember NFTs.
Cryptocurrency is the thing in this book. People enjoy crypto because the dollar has plummeted,
and they actually use it. Yeah, it's actual currency that people use to pay for things, and not just prospecting pyramid scheme where if you put in money now, other people will put in money, and then your money is slightly more valuable because there's more money. But if there's ever a run on the cryptocurrency, you're fucked.
Well, the dream of Bitcoin, when it was founded by a bunch of naive libertarians, was that it would provide an alternative to the dollar, that it would be independent of any government manipulation. It would be a perfect vehicle for the free market. Bitcoin.
That's what we needed more of in 2008. More of the free market.
Well, Bitcoin.
The free market needed to be even freer. Free to lose your house.
A lot of those guys pointed to stuff like Venezuela's hyperinflation as Bitcoin could save you from that. Bitcoin could save you from the government can't just print more money to pay off its debts.
Okay.
But is
Venezuela doing real well now? Is that
depends who you ask. No, but there's a ton of features of Bitcoin. I should say there's a ton of features that Bitcoin is lacking that makes it bad even by the standards of cryptocurrency, but I'm not going to get into that here. But there's that aspect of future prediction. This is 1992. He's starting to see where some of these things can go. One of the things that exists in the metaverse is that somebody can hand you a data packet in the metaverse. And if your avatar accepts the data packet in the metaverse, then it's immediately transferred to your computer, which is one of the mechanisms of distributing Snow Crash. Snow Crash is a drug, and kind of a terrible name for this book.
Well, I think it's supposed to be the static.
I understand what it's supposed to be.
We no longer really have because
nobody called it
TVs
Snow
don't
Crash.
do that anymore.
Nobody called it Snow Crash, even when we did.
Yeah, but that's because you're not hip and cool like me. I ride a skateboard and poon people all day, every day, and you sit at your computer with your little loser goggles and type away for the man. So I call it Snow Crash. You probably call it the fuzzies or something. I'm cooler than you.
I mean, dog. It's a blue screen in the Windows world, but
well, it's TV. I think it's the TV crash.
I'll just say as much as I do
Static.
like some of Stephenson's writing, I think the Snow Crash is not on par with the Neuromancer. The sky was the color of static. But he's not trying. He's trying to be a lot less noir and a lot more kind of sci-fi comedy. Because YT, the hypersexual 15-year-old girl, and she is hypersexual. She initiates a lot of this. She is constantly thinking about people being attracted to her, and it's kind of hinted in the book that like some of this is just in her head. That reflects an archetype that I've seen in a bunch of 90s stuff in the like cyberpunk adjacent space. It was very big in anime. Christopher Moore was a fan of it.
Oh, good.
You remember that one girl from the one where he's death?
A dirty
A
job.
Dirty Job. His employee.
The hot goth employee.
Yeah.
Who was underage for most of that, and also his employee,
and not interested in him, or he was not interested in her. She kept trying to get with him, and like she kept being like, "Okay, I'll throw you one," and he was like, "No, thank you." And it's very like that. That trope existed in a certain space, and I don't know what to call it, and I don't know how to describe it, but the notion that there was this like, I don't know. I think it comes from the humor of like, there's a girl who wants to have sex with men, but they don't want to. And because all men should want to have sex.
A man not wanting to have sex?
Yeah.
How absurd.
How absurd. What a joke this girl must be.
You be?
It's subverted all my expectations. And
I thought he was gonna poon her for sure.
Yeah, boy, that's he decided to shorten harpoon to poon, which no one has ever done.
And we should start doing that. Yeah,
no, I disagree.
Who wants to go poon some whales?
Oh, Jesus, that has a different that was a different context. But yeah, that's the kind of world we're dealing with. And introduced into this world are tons of concepts, so many things that that aren't relevant to the plot. The plot is that there's this virus called Snow Crash that can infect you.
Hey, why don't you talk about how David is like, I've got all these antivirals. I've got all these antivirals in my system, and this guy gave me Snow Crash, and even though Juanita, who is David's ex-wife, and David used to be Hero's partner and or boss, he's like, I am going to look at Snow Crash. I'm going to use it because it's a drug, and I'm cool.
Well, so
it's cool.
So Snow Crash is complicated.
No, it's not. It's pretty easy.
Okay. A couple of things before we get into that. So Snow Crash is a drug. And it is the first drug that you can do in the metaverse, like on your computer, looking at a screen. It can flash light in such a way that it can trigger something to happen in your brain, and it promises to be some sort of elevated experience. I guess that's the implication. There's a guy standing outside this little hacker club that Hero helps build.
Raven.
And he's trying to hawk Snow Crash. He's trying to get Hero to take it. I guess he's been handing it to every hacker that walks in. A lot is made about how cool it is to be a hacker and how you're actually buying.
Do you think of yourself as a hacker? You work as a hacker at your day job?
So I'll tell you, the term hacker and hack has evolved a lot in the computer space. I do think in 1992, people who were not breaking into computer systems they weren't supposed to have access to, but were just programming, might call themselves a hacker, in that they hack things together. That still kind of floats around in computer spaces, the notion of like hacking together solutions.
Nah, it's all vibe coding now, dog.
Like a bad. So, like, I'll tell you. Okay, so a good thing to do when you're creating a system is values that, like passwords or something. Those should be stored somewhere and encrypted and only retrieved as needed and then discarded. So a bad practice would be just typing the password into your code as a string and trying to connect to your database. That is something I would call a hack. You did not do it properly. You took a shortcut. That is a hack.
A hack fraud.
Yeah. It has a different connotation in like artsy terms. Like if you're a hack fraud, you know, you're a bad artist. I guess you're a bad programmer if you're constantly using hacks, but
I use Visual Basic.
okay. It's still around. It's still around.
I'm sure it is.
I haven't written anything mercifully in Visual Basic in about, oh shit, no, I can't even say that. It has been 1 year since I used Visual Basic.
That's sad.
It is.
I think it's been about 20 years.
That is sad.
Since I have.
You don't want to know how much of this country still runs on COBOL.
I don't even know what that is.
It's like mainframe programming language.
Yeah, I mean, if you go to the VA, you'll be like, is this DOS? And the answer is yes, it is DOS.
I would say most major infrastructure runs on mainframe. Not a lot can really outperform it. And it's when's a good time to take down an absolutely critical system to put a totally new solution in that is definitely going to have some bugs where there were no bugs before. When's a good time to take the VA offline to do that?
You know, give them a year in office. We'll have dismantled VA healthcare.
Now, I will say, from Stephenson's perspective, I think the description of what it is like to work as a programmer is accurate and also delusional, but like delusional in all the right ways. Like, he definitely reads to me like a guy who was there. It's a very 1992 version of it, which like I was fucking
far out, dog.
So I wasn't.
Hop on my skateboard, loser. We're gonna ride.
I didn't get on the internet until. We're gonna ride
the asphalt wave.
Yeah, but so Hero, he goes into this secret hacker bar, and David's got some of this snow crash.
Yeah.
And David's like the biggest, bestest hacker
and
boy.
He spells his name with a 4 instead of an A, so you know he is elite, dog.
Okay, so there's another. Well, just know if you heard a bleep anywhere in this episode, it's because we talked about a gruesome murder.
And nothing else.
So
DeForvid, this version, who did not kill his girlfriend, they had a divorce.
They had an amicable divorce.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, and also his ex-wife is Hero's ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
Oh,
pretty hot. Am I right?
Yeah. We'll talk about Juanita in a minute. I guess you will get your 2 episodes out of this.
Fuck yeah.
So,
we did it, boys.
So DeForvid is like, hey, I got the best antivirus software in the world. And also, like, if I start to feel weird, I'll just take the goggles off.
Yeah.
You know, it's a computer.
Yeah.
This guy's an idiot.
It's virtual reality.
So he boots it up. His avatar crashes. He's carried away by the ghosts from the movie Ghost. And he doesn't get back online. And they find out like 2 weeks later, he's in the intensive care unit. His brain shut off.
Yeah.
And
whoops.
Turns out Snow Crash, that shit works.
Yeah, he's laughing it off at first. He's like, well, it was just some static or something. I don't know. This is where it's and then he crashes.
Do you think that's what, like, in the Matrix, if you watch somebody get pulled out of the Matrix, like they take the red pill and they get pulled out of the Matrix, that's what you would see? Is like they just collapse and it looks like their brain broke. Maybe that's what happened to DeForvid. He got out of the Matrix.
He got pulled out of the Matrix in the Matrix.
And so
at least the Matrix seemed to have a functioning society, you know?
It was the peak of our society.
Yeah.
At the end of the 20th century. They nailed it.
Thank you, Robot
Agent
Overlord.
Smith said, after this point, we did all your thinking for you, and it kind of became our society. So, yeah, who knew the downfall would be so stupid easy to predict? Once Snow Crash, the virus, enters the picture, and this is like a third of the way through the book.
It takes a very long time.
We start to get some semblance of a plot. So for a while, the book is just Hero walking you through the world of Snow Crash. Well, Hero and YT. Walking you through
YT
the world of
gets
Snow
a
Crash.
loogie shot at her arms, and then she gets taken to the clink, and Hero has to get her out of the clink. First, she's bargaining with the police officers. Don't take me to the clink. Take me to the nicer, friendlier jail. But that jail is the what?
The Hooskow.
The Hooskow. That's full. So you got to go to the clink.
Yeah, and these are jail franchises. Can you imagine such a thing as a private prison?
Yeah, that would be ludicrous. That would be like modern day slavery, right? That's just what that is. You're taking labor and you're forcibly putting people to work, and you know some.
I'm going to say all forced labor is modern day slavery, whether the government does it or a business does it.
Yeah,
I think you should have to pay prisoners minimum wage, but that's just me.
Or just humanely burn them alive. I don't know.
Snow Crash.
there you go. Snow Crashing, Ben.
No. So there's a weird thing that goes on in the early chapters where we have the first chapter, which is the night of the pizza delivery. After that, Heroes chapters
are great.
Well, they take place in a different time. Like Heroes chapters are fast forwarded like several weeks from that date. Whereas YT, then we go back and see what YT did.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah.
I was wondering. I was like, wait, hold on. He's going to bust her out of the clink. And then we go back to Hero and he's talking to a librarian. And I'm like, huh? How is he doing
so the Hero
both?
chapters and the YT chapters take place in a different time. So,
that was a bad choice because I fucking got confused.
No, it took me a minute to figure out what was going on. So Heroes chapters take place a couple weeks after the pizza night, where YT has hooked him up with this roommate from one of her favorite bands, and he's putting on shows and he's doing freelance hacker work. But then YT's chapters pick up right from her delivering the pizza to her getting arrested for breaking into one of the burbclaves to deliver that pizza to Hero. Then they kind of remerge when Hero has to pick her up or help her escape from this prison. Yes,
Ben, you're going to the clink.
Yes, it was called the Clink, and so he helps her get out, and then now the timelines have kind of merged.
Yeah, this is where my note says, "Wait, where is Hero? He's back at the club again? What?" Yeah. Okay, I thought I was just like, maybe I'm not paying attention or something. Like,
no, for some reason there's a weird time.
Yeah. Okay.
Differential between the YT perspective and the Hero.
And then Hero, a businessman, is going to fight Hero for the blades that Hero's father gave him after fighting in the war, which was World War II. It sounds like.
Yes. Yeah.
We talk a lot about Vietnam and World War II.
I think this is taking place right on the other edge of like 2000.
Oh man. So this is what would have happened if Al Gore would have won.
Yeah, dodged a bullet.
Yeah, 9/11 didn't happen, but the whole U.S. government collapsed, and now here we are.
Who could imagine? But
Hero then chops that businessman up, but that's in the virtual world. Then
I don't like the way the virtual world is described. Is like not as good as video games we currently have.
No. Didn't anyone tell you that I'm a
metaverse
hacker? He says as he hacks him up to pieces.
Well, it really seems like he's describing something like akin to Beat Saber. like it has about the functionality of Beat Saber, because you don't have legs in the metaverse, because even, they haven't figured out leg tracking. You don't have like a treadmill. It doesn't Ready Player One that hard. And so he's sword fighting some guy in a video game, and I don't give a shit. And much like Mark Zuckerberg thought people were going to want to do this.
Yeah. Don't you want to? Get on your Oculus. Let's fight for my father's honor.
Sure. But how much do you think I'm going to pay for the privilege?
Hundreds of dollars. If I defeat you, I'm taking your swords that you had to have paid for.
I enjoy Beat Saber. That's kind of the end of my enjoyment of the metaverse. There's a gun game I like. There's a handful of mostly music-based games that I like. In virtual reality, but everybody's given up on virtual reality. Nobody gives a shit anymore. And Mark Zuckerberg switched to AI because he doesn't have any ideas. And hopefully the AI will tell him what he should do next.
Yeah, you have to do unlimited growth forever. You can't just make Facebook and then peace out. You have to.
Well, I can't imagine Facebook. The boomers are going to die one day, and then nobody's going to be using it.
Well, Ben, we'll always have Tom.
How many people under 30 do you think use Facebook daily?
Daily? I don't know. Good question.
How many people in 2006 under 30 do you think used Facebook daily? Like, I would say in 2006, that was almost
pretty much everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, because that was right after you stopped needing a college email.
Yeah, you had to. In order for me to get on Facebook, there were people in my high school that were designated as like admins that would verify that I was from that school.
Yeah, so you had like they went from this like exclusive model that captured the hippest, coolest people advertisers might want to sell products to.
Yeah, they rode skateboards and we pooned cars.
Oh yeah, now they've got QAnon. They've got the end market on QAnon.
How much do they buy?
They buy a lot of that gruel that keeps for 100 years for when the world ends.
Yeah, my plan for if the world ends is to be dead. I don't think I want to live in that world. I think I'm done.
Buddy, that's my plan for if the world continues.
so my notes, Ben. So there's a thing called a rat thing that ends up being YT's like dog.
The rat thing is that doesn't need to be.
I don't know why that was there. And then the next point is YT is thinking about Dentata, and then ... Oh, YT is 15 years old in all caps.
Yes.
Oh boy. And then the next note is just gross.
Everything with YT is supposed to be funny.
Yeah.
And I would
far out, man. Cowabunga.
She has
Eat my shorts.
She has a very girl Bart Simpson aesthetic. I will say that. It's rough. The YT stuff is rough. The stuff where he's trying to be like edgy and funny
works 100% of the time.
It's aged kind of poorly. I'd say it's like if you went back and you watched old episodes of South Park. I know they're from different times, but it's like that's edgy humor. It either becomes just kind of cringe or not edgy anymore. Like the shock value always wears off. And that's some of the stuff with YT, like the Dentata and the...
That will be plot significant, Ben. You gotta remember that thing is all the way up there.
Because she forgets somehow. Did I read that right? Does she forget?
Yeah, she does seem to forget, like, oh, yeah, they didn't cavity search me before they kidnapped me.
You know what? I'm not qualified to comment on that. But I just feel like you'd know. I just think you'd know.
Well, as a man,
maybe not. Maybe it's different. Maybe it varies from person to person.
As my former boss used to say, you gotta tell the clients. This is someone who is not an OBGYN or even a medical doctor. Gotta tell the clients when they put in the IUD, the wings open up.
Aren't you a psychiatrist? Not only are you
psychologist, Ben. Psychiatrists can prescribe medicine.
I was going to say, not only are you not an OBGYN, I don't think you're qualified to work on the body, let alone give advice on that. Regardless, there's another character that we need to bring up, which is Juanita. We've mentioned before. Juanita and Hero, they go way back.
Way back.
They were both Army brats. Or Navy brats, I don't know.
Way before Slim Shady was in demand.
That's not untrue. So they eventually both became programmers. They both wound up working for the company that would become Black Sun Industries, David's venture.
Hey, now that he's dead, or he's not dead, but like, you know, he might as well be Dibs? Like, Dibs.
Well, they were divorced in the first place.
I'm talking about Hero.
Who is he calling Dibs for? Who's the competition?
Dibs. Hero Industries.
So, Juanita, she is the one that figures out that in order for the metaverse to work, you're going to need to include that aspect of communication, which is nonverbal, which is a substantial amount that the tech bros she was working with didn't realize you would need. That also feels like a pretty salient point in 2026 is tech bros neglecting basic aspects of human nature. And when evaluating how much people are going to want a thing, for example, AI.
Who wants an Optimus Prime?
Well, you know what people really want? In a
Food.
programmer?
Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought you just meant in general.
The AI is really cool. The chatbot's cool. The vibe coding is cool. But you know what? You know what a project manager really wants?
Money.
Someone to blame.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Blame Zuckerberg.
Yeah. Funny enough, they don't sign up for that. Funny enough, they say use at your own discretion. All of these AI now say AI can be wrong. You're responsible for what you do. Yeah, they're always going to need somebody. Like eventually, I feel like the only thing I'm going to bring to the table is my ability to suffer.
You did it.
Can't take that from me.
And hey, you're a white guy, so you can suffer in a way that like they care about, you know?
True. They see themselves suffering. Like they have some empathy because I look a little. Yeah.
God.
It's a nightmare. So Juanita, she's into, and this is strange because she's smart, right? She's into religion.
Oh my God. What's wrong with her? Am I right? Someone get her a harpoon and a skateboard.
She was a devout Catholic, but then I think she disagreed with some of the church's stances. Go figure.
What?
And she took her quadrillions, quintillions of dollars and decided to start her own Catholicism.
Yeah. With blackjack and hookers.
Things make sense there in her Catholicism. And she keeps trying to tell Hero that
she solved all of Catholicism's problems. She was her own Council of Nicaea.
Council of Juanita.
Council of Juanita. Catholic 3.
There's only one Nita.
And Muhammad is her prophet.
She is into
I'm going to hell,
religion.
Ben. I'm just kidding. We're already there. Anyway.
Yeah. So she's into religion, and she seems to know something about Snow Crash. She warns Hero not to take Snow Crash from anybody.
And don't fuck with Raven.
And not to fuck with Raven. And don't, she tells David, don't fuck with Snow Crash.
And he's like, yeah, sure, I won't do that. I'm totally doing that. And now he's got no brain.
Now he's got no brain. And so after he snow crashes, which I think we discussed is
awesome.
The snow is the static, and the crash is when your computer crashes and your screen goes to static. Which I have never seen it do.
No, I've never seen a computer do that.
And I've used very old computers.
Well, this was in 92. I only remember DOS.
I used computers from before 92.
I used a computer from before 92. It all ran in DOS. If it crashed, I think it blue screened. I think it had a floppy drive on it. And you had to power it on, you opened a little tiny little compartment to push the on switch, and you closed it up.
Wow. Did you ever get to use the big floppy disks?
There were bigger floppy disks. I do have we did have a computer with a zip drive, which we never ever used as I guess it's a zip disk or something.
The floppy disks that were around when we were kids were mostly 3.5 inch floppy disks.
Yeah.
But there were like 5 1/4 inch.
Oh my God.
Disks. Yeah. My really poor ass school in rural Pennsylvania still had some some old computers with like Oregon Trail on 5.5 5-inch floppy disks.
I never used those, but I think I think the computer had a drive that could run something like that. There's a big old slot in the middle, and the cord to hook up the keyboard, it looked like a telephone cord, like it was spiral.
Spiral. Oh yeah, I have seen those. And they used to have their own keyboard and mouse ports.
Yeah, they didn't have USB. You had the fucking color coded like circular ports with the pins.
Yeah. Yeah.
The good old days. Make America great again. Return it to the 90s, Ben.
Return America to command line arguments. So I'm trying to think how much further we want to go in an episode 1. Because I think I want to focus, and this may surprise people who have not yet read the book, what I'm about to say. I think I want to focus on the Bible stuff, mostly in in part 2.
Yeah, and I want to read a very special part of the book at the beginning of episode 2. Because I don't want to scare people away with how bad it is.
Because I will say, at about literally like 30 to 40 chapters into this 70 to 80 chapter book.
71, yeah.
They start to get into some deep stuff about the nature, like the fundamental nature of information and intelligence.
And it stretches back to ancient world, so ancient that we weren't even like modern cognitive humans.
Yeah, it stretches back to this idea of a virus and
Paradise Lost.
An actual virus. Yeah, it stretches back to the earliest conceptions of human myth, like back to
Adam and Eve, the Tower of Babel.
The idea of losing a paradise. Now, when we get into that episode, I guess one of the problems, I really do like that stuff.
I thought it was very interesting.
I think there's two thoughts I had about how people who don't have my set of weird interests might feel when they encounter it. The first is that it does kind of sound like he's making it up. Like it sounds like it's just more wacky bullshit. But the Bible stuff is not. A lot of that is real. Like the Bible conspiracy stuff he does. A lot of that is based on actual.
It was Adam
like,
and
proper
Eve,
scholarship.
not Adam and Steve.
No, it was Yahweh and Asherah, not the Lord God above.
Was Asherah, is that God's wife?
That is, yeah. Asherah is a...
And we had to get rid of her with Enki.
We'll talk about this more next episode, and it'll come up. But basically, all those sort of Mesopotamian cultures, the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Israelites, the Phoenicians, the Sumerians, the Babylonians, all of them, everybody living in that area between like the Tigris and the Euphrates, south to about Egypt, it seems like they all kind of came from one culture initially and spread out and diversified. And that culture had a pantheon. And very early on, before any of the texts of the Bible were written down, at least in the form we have them, the patron god of the Israelites was Yahweh, who was one among many. And the Israelites acknowledged that there were other divinities, but Yahweh was the best. Like their guy was in charge. And in early versions, he had a wife, Asherah.
Obviously, we had to get rid of that.
Well, and you could see there's I'll look up what the exact theory is called, but basically the first 5 books of the Bible are called the Pentateuch, and there's very clear evidence of different authors even within similar texts. So like even within uh Genesis uh Genesis like chapters 1 and 2, there's already evidence of multiple authors and an editor who compiled it. And so you can kind of see references to things that have been edited out that haven't been edited out cleanly.
This is a bad editor. You fire that guy.
Well, and he'll get into actually, like Stephenson actually gets into the theories behind, he calls it information hygiene. And that's another thing I found interesting. And Stephenson is kind of, I want to be careful because he's in a little bit of problematic territory with this, because there's a very like Abrahamic centric view of world history, which happens to be a view of world history that I was taught, like even into the college level, that monotheism, the writing of the holy books and stuff like that, that these were objective advancements, that like it was kind of like that March of Progress style thing, like this is the way this is the way like society should evolve. You need a book, you need one guy, you don't want to, like a pantheon is more primitive than monotheism, is kind of how I was taught it, which is not true. And also that writing and holy books kind of go hand in hand, where you'll have cultures like in India, they had writing for 1,000 years before they ever wrote down any of their religious works, because they were too important to be written. There's a lot of ways that cultures view writing as technology and are skeptical of it because it's technology, that not many sci-fi books talk about, because they're more interested in fancier things. But Stevenson's, I think the real value of Snow Crash is Stevenson bridging the gap between information as it is encoded into language and then writing, and then also information as it is encoded digitally. And that we're kind of reinventing the wheel of civilization with this extra level of information processing. And obviously I could go off on like a rabbit hole about this.
Yeah. And we will, but we'll do that next episode. This was the teaser to set the stage.
Yeah.
Next episode, we'll get into all the really like super ancient stuff and how that ties to this modern day virus. How does not L. Ron Hubbard tie into all this?
Oh yeah, we didn't even get to L. Ron Hubbard. Oh, but I will say the one thing that goes along with this preview is, if you thought that the beginning sounds very disconnected from where it's going,
yes,
wait until you get to the end.
Yeah. Agreed.
Where they're just like,
and now we're done.
So
we both use the word abrupt.
Yeah, there's a real sweet spot where this book like is cooking.
Yes.
It takes a while to get there, and it ends pretty quickly. But for a few glorious chapters, he was really saying something.
Yeah, I'd say maybe the middle third or so of the book is where it's like, oh, this is good. And then we go attack the raft, and then we're going home now. Okay, bye.
Yeah, it definitely feels like, not that I'm implying he used AI or anything like that, because obviously he didn't, and it didn't exist at the time. But this is vibe writing. I feel like he just kind of sat down and wrote whatever popped into his head. And then when it was time to be done, he was like, and I'm done. And then he left. This one, it's going to be fun to rubric. So if you're confused, I don't know how I'm going to edit this into a coherent.
Well, definitely edit the part where I talked about burning prisoners alive.
I have so many notes on bleeps, and all of them do involve a brutal murder.
Yeah.
It's
weird how that works out and how that keeps coming up.
Yeah. But okay. Yeah, I think if this didn't make a lot of sense to you this first episode, I'm gonna ask you to bear with us. Bear with us until episode 2. Because it's gonna get real douche philosophy.
I was here for it though. When I started putting it together, it took him a few conversations with the librarian, going over Lagos's notes. Who we didn't even really talk about Lagos. He's dead now. Raven kills him.
He stops the story dead to just do a platonic dialogue about the nature of
my favorite part of the book.
Yeah, for real.
I didn't think I'd say that, but I was like, I'll take more of this.
I'm getting you. I'm getting into your head.
You are using Ben Crash. It's more of a subtle, slow crash of the brain, but you're hitting my deep brain structures without me even knowing.
Talking about Tolkien was my snow crash. That's how I got you in. Like I got you just a little bit of Bible stuff. Just a little bit of the Bible stuff. A little bit more. And then pretty soon you're gonna have a lot of thoughts on Marduk.
Marmaduke? Yeah. He's a dog.
Enki's son.
Enki had a son?
Yeah, named Marduk.
I thought he just had a bunch of daughters and plants.
He had those two.
Daughters who were also really granddaughters and great-granddaughters who were granddaughters. And
gods aren't beholden to the same rules that the rest of us are.
That is what the elite in our society say as well. And I'm thinking,
I do like that Stephenson positions Enki as just some dude.
Yeah.
I mean, not just some
dude.
The
first or one of the first modern conscious humans.
You want to know? Before I ever read Snow Crash, I was writing some of this stuff into Edenverse.
Wow.
Yeah. I was going to have Will's artifacts go back.
Yeah, because we established they're from Sumer. Yeah.
I liked this book. I got there in the end. I didn't like most of this book, but I really liked the sweet spot.
There's a sweet spot. And I liked the very, very, very beginning. I liked a good chunk of the middle. The ending until the actual ending point was all right, and then it's just and we're done. And
so here's I'm in that weird spot of love Snow Crash, don't like YT, don't care about the metaverse.
You love Snow Crash, but you don't like about 2/3 of it or so.
It's fun.
It's gonna get some high scores in some categories and some not so high scores in other categories, Ben.
There's one category where it's gonna get slaughtered.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. With that, I think we got to thank our patrons who, after me putting this in front of them over and over and over again, finally voted
actually, there was a tie. This is I cast the tie-breaking vote in the Senate. So,
what was the other choice?
Musashi. It's
I'm gonna guess page for page. Musashi's probably better.
Yeah, it's 1,000 pages.
It is a lot of pages. I'll give you that. I'm gonna read it regardless.
Maybe we can do that later.
I'll tell you what we could do, since you love splitting things up. I'll read Musashi, and you can read the comic Vagabond.
Okay. Deal.
It's based on the book loosely. All right. So the patrons,
Jacob
thank
Lansky
them.
doing
That's right.
whatever the fuck he wants,
But it better not
motherfucker.
be Snow Crash.
Hey, he can do Snow Crash if he wants.
Don't do Snow Crash.
He can do it if he wants. He knows the risks. He knows the risks. If he wants to go to the hospital with most of his brain not working, that is his goddamn right, Ben. I don't agree with it, but I will fight for his right to do it.
All right, but you better put your monthly donation in your will.
Yes, yeah, good point. Good point.
Yeah.
John Bierce.
We need these people alive, Nate. Jesus Christ.
John Bierce, a real author, unlike us, author of The Mage Errant and The Sea That Would Eat the World, and my favorite, Wabi award-winning The Rack. He has a Patreon as well as a ton of great books. Go check those out. Again, check those out after you donate to our Patreon, right?
I've been trying to convince John to write The Rack 2, Rack to the Future.
Rack to the Future. We've got Jamie, the Gravy Man, from ifyouwantthegravy.wordpress.com, where he reviews everything except for Snow Crash, like the drug Snow Crash. He's not allowed to do that because, as we just went over, we need these people alive, Ben.
That's right.
This is my capitalistic duty, okay?
Or you could make Words About Books your power of attorney.
They're perfect. You sign up for esign.com.
Either stay healthy.
You get 3 free signatures a month. Sponsor us, eSign. We've got Isekai Sensei Sama from That Time I Got Reincarnated as an Anime Podcast in the same world. That Time I Got Reincarnated in the same world as an Anime Podcaster podcast.
It's tricky. It's a lot of words.
I remembered in the same world, but for some reason I wanted to put it later, and it wouldn't have made sense later. So
That Time I Got Reincarnated in the metaverse.
Is the metaverse an isekai? It's in a lot of isekais.
It's isekai adjacent for sure.
And finally, last but not least, we got Shy with a Y, Spooky Shy, over on TikTok and also at an improv theater in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Yep. You'll just have to guess which of the dozens it is.
All right. Anything else?
I think that's it. We'll have to. I guess this is maybe a post outro thing, but fuck that chapter transition in the audiobook. Right?
Okay, I was like, what the fuck is this?
That was people saying like the monos like syllable.
Yes.
Sumerian. Yeah, no. Once I finally figured that out, 17 hours into the book, I was like, that was unnecessary. We didn't need to do that.
I agree.
Should have just had a whoosh sound effect.